S&P 500 is down 2% from its all-time highs, and most of the stocks that were leading the market higher are down anywhere from 17% to 35%. We are also seeing the most insider selling since 2021 after COVID. I'm a professional engineer and I've been day trading and investing in the stock market for 4+ years. And in this video, I will be going over the key opportunities that are presenting themselves right now in the market so that you are prepared to take advantage of them. Let's look at the economic calendar. So coming into this week, you can see that we only have this orange folder news on July the 23rd at 8:30 a.m. Eastern time before the market opens. So that's something to pay attention to. Besides that, it's a pretty light week on the economic calendar front. But we have a pretty busy week when it comes to the earnings calendar. We have Tesla reporting earnings on Wednesday after market close, Google as well, and IBM. IBM had news last week that sent this name tumbling down. But you have to pay attention to Tesla, Google, and IBM as well, tech names, and Intel on Thursday, July 23rd, after market close as well. We want to see how they performed last quarter and how they provide guidance on future quarters. Now let's move on to the charts and see what we are watching for this coming week. So what do we have on SPY? Finally, we broke out of this annoying range that we were trading in for a few sessions. But now where do we go from here? We broke down. We retested it on Friday. It looked like a bounce. And I know I mentioned in my free community that I want to see if we come back up into this previous day's low area and see what happens there. We came into that area. We couldn't fill the gap from Thursday last week, the 750.76 area. Now, where do we go from here? I'm looking to see if we actually get some continuation towards this 739.51 area on SPY. And if it fails to hold, there's a chance we would probably come down here. There's room down to 736, 735 on SPY. So that's why I'm watching. And as usual, I'll be updating those in my free community on what's happening in the market if we end up holding this 736, or if we even come down into 732. The market looks quite weak right now, and until we reclaim 750 on SPY as it stands, sellers would most likely remain in control. What do we have on QQQ? QQQ, similar thing. This one started to show weakness way before SPY finally broke down. What am I looking for? It's pretty straightforward here. Similar thing. If we are not able to get back above 705, reclaim it, and try to find our way higher, sellers will remain in control. I'm looking to see if this 685 area on QQQ continues to hold. If it continues to hold, we might just chop around the 685, 705 area. 685 fails, we can start to see movements down into this 680.78 to fill the gap, and 676, and also there's a gap to fill at 672 if 676.77 fails to hold. The next name I have on the list is Tesla. Tesla is reporting earnings this week. I'm not going to be trading it until after its reported earnings because of options, but we can just see what is going on in the chart and make a game plan if you want to buy shares, whatever it might be. If Tesla fails to hold Friday's low, there's room down to this 368.60 level from before. And if 368.60 fails to hold, 364 could come next. That would be disappointing for this name. And if 364 fails to hold, Tesla could even go as low as 350 as well. Like I said earlier this month, and I continue to repeat, as long as Tesla maintains below its 200-day moving average, there's a chance sellers will just continue to fight any buyers that step in on this name, and it's done that so far. So realistically, until we get above this 200-day moving average, Tesla would continue to just move sideways in this channel that you're seeing right here. Next name I have is Nvidia. Nvidia right here, it's been interesting. It's touched the 200-day moving average, bounced off it twice, had promising moves towards the upside, but we met sellers at this resistance area that you see right here from the past resistance, and we failed to continue higher and break above this 314 area to try and fill the gap at 218.72. Now, where do we go from here now that Nvidia has broken down and filled key support levels that it had from last week? Now, I want to see if Nvidia is able to actually get above this Friday's high that we have right here. If Nvidia can get above Friday's high, 206.65 area, there's a gap to be filled at 207.40. If this gap holds, 208 is possible. If 208 holds, then there's a chance it can continue to move into 210s and 211s. But as it stands and this chart looks, I don't really want to be touching this name as long as it stays in this range. It's not going to be great to trade. But if it breaks Friday's low, 197.97, there's room down again into this 192 area. Now, if Nvidia ends up breaking 192 and failing this 200-day moving average, the move could be really strong and Nvidia could end up coming down into 188. Now, the next name I have is Intel. Intel is reporting earnings on Thursday after market close. This name has been beaten up since I started talking about it uh, in the last week of June. You can see that Intel is basically 30% from its all-time highs. It's dropped 37% from its all-time highs. So it's concerning because the indices hasn't even sold off aggressively yet. You're seeing names dropping at least 17% from all-time highs, and with Intel being one of the highest so far, like 37%. Fair healthy pullback. Where do we go from here? With Intel, if Friday's low fails 89.59, there's room down to 86 and to fill the gap at 84.54. Now, for Intel, I want to see 100 reclaim for buyers to step up and start attempting to push this name higher. If 100 is reclaimed, 102.98 to fill that gap over there is possible. Google is another name that I want to talk about, mainly because it's reporting earnings and some people might be curious to see, okay, what are the levels we need to pay attention to? Google at this point has been trading sideways since June in this range that we're seeing over here. It's just been bouncing in between the range, up and down. Buyers will take it up to this resistance area, and then we'll see sellers come and push it down. I want to see if Google is finally going to be able to break out of this range, either to the downside or upside. If 333.69 fails, Google could see a low down to 320 on this name, and we'll see what happens when it comes down to this 200-day moving average area to see if we get a bounce or if we fail. If it fails, sentiment will shift and buying would probably be stronger towards the downside. Anyway, as for Google, 360 bare minimum needs to be reclaimed for a chance to revisit this resistance again. If this resistance level 374.35 is broken and we see buyers show strength, there's a chance 380 will come quick and even 390s on this name. I'm not trading it. I'm going to see how it reports earnings and potentially maybe get some shares for long term. Next name is Apple. The king of the market is back. It's overthrown Nvidia as the king of the market this last week. So where do we go from here? Apple is showing signs of slowing down on Friday. We didn't see continuation. We were able to um, hold key levels though. Apple held this previous resistance area that you can see here. You saw that buyers stepped up multiple times to try and take out this high, but that was not possible. Now coming into this week is if Apple is able to spend some time and finally break above this high here of the 333.74s and get above this 335 area, we will most likely see continuation towards the upside, perhaps into 340. If Apple starts to fill this 329, 325.72 would most likely come. But the area I'm watching for downside, where like it would be worth shorting this name, is when Apple eventually fails to hold this 323.45. Why? Because it's the previous all-time high level that it held nicely before we saw this push and this strong move towards the upside. So if Apple fails this 323.45, there is room down to most likely fill this gap at 314.92. So that's why I'm watching on Apple. Strong name so far, been showing some strength and carrying the market. AMD. AMD finally broke down. And where is it right now? From all-time highs, if you measure it, it had a move down 21% from the highs. Now, where do we go from here? Since we've seen structure shift, we filled this 395 area and we saw selling down to 360s, and we saw a strong bounce to 500 on Friday. Immaculate bounce, very strong bounce to 500. Now, where do we go from here? Because we're not out of the woods. If AMD is not able to realistically get above Friday's high and try to revisit 510 and eventually get above this 520 area, then sellers will most likely be in control. AMD could come up to this 520 area, and if sellers are still strong and present, we could see a downside move down to this Friday's low 560. And if 560 fails on AMD, this gap at 552 would most likely get filled. And if 522 and 550 fail, then 437.23 is possible on this name. I wouldn't be surprised if we start to see even SPY and QQQ break down even further. Then most of this tech names, semiconductor names that were leading the market would sell even more. And until they find a base and start reversing, we would most likely continue to see some downside. So that's it for this week. I will see you next week for a brand new video on what I'm watching, and I'll update you. If you like this video and you found value, please leave a like and a sub. And I appreciate you so much. Thank you.